Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. I want to thank everybody for all of your fabulous birthday wishes and gifts and memes. I love it. All right. As usual, lots to cover, so let's just get there, shall we? Let's go. We are going to start with King Charles and Queen Camilla today. They went to Belfast, which is their first visit to Northern Ireland since they were crowned. They went there on a 2-day visit, and they started off with the Coronation Garden. So they arrived in an area called Newtown Abbey, and there was a new coronation garden that was placed there just to mark King Charles' ascension to the throne. There were hundreds of well-wishers there, including some children, and the pupils were lining, the entrance to the screen place. So Charles and Camilla pulled the bow and went in, and they actually met the designers of the garden and representatives of the community and charitable organizations. There are lots of bee and butterfly friendly flowers, and they have some that are considered quote unquote dancing topiaries and spinning trees that move every 15 minutes to the tune of either Pure Imagination from the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory film or Wise's Give Me Sunshine. How nice is that? I just love that. Now, when they stood up on the edge up there, Charles said it was giving him just a little bit of anxiety. Apparently, it was quite a drop down to the bottom. They looked like they were really high up there. They did ask again about the dancing shrubs, and they were told that they're real, but they're attached to devices under the soil that make them perform every 15 minutes. Very nice. Again, they climbed to the top of the pavilion. Then at one point, they sat down on this throne that was decorated by the school children before they cut a fabulous cake. And then I guess they shared it. All right, moving on. When they were done there, they went on to Hillsborough Castle, where the king received the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland, Chris Heaton Harris. Now, when that was all over, Camilla changed outfits and they hosted a garden party at the castle, and then they planted a tree to mark their coronation. Now, after it was planted, Charles grabbed a hold of one of the branches and gave it a friendly shake and wished it well after planting it, which is apparently something he does with all the trees that he plants. Very interesting, but, okay. Then, of course, they walked around and spoke with people. Looked like the day was a huge success. Moving on. Next up, we have Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, and she helped the Wolf Institute celebrate their 25th anniversary at St. James Palace. I'm guessing that everybody had a fabulous time. It looks like a lovely event. All right, moving on now. We're going to talk about Prince William. When he got done with his Earthshot Prize visit, he tucked into a pizzeria next door. Non-pretentious. Next up, we have Prince Edward. We know he was in Germany. He left Germany and he went to the Czech Republic. And he did this as part of his visit in support of the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award. There was a gold ceremony where he met and spent time with the gold award holders. I love that. He also met Mr. Pavel, who is the president of the Czech Republic. Now, the president of the Czech Republic also received the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Edward, at the Prague Castle, which is the official residence of the president in Prague. Looks like his visit there was good and very productive. All right, moving on. We're going to touch on Sophie now. I told you guys she was in Baghdad. Apparently, she made a visit to hear about how they're integrating women into the Iraqi military and how the UK is promoting that in its military education. Pretty cool. Next up, it has come out that the elderly 81-year-old woman that was struck by the police in the motorcade, she has passed away from her injuries. And Sophie put out a very heartfelt statement that said that she was very sad to hear about her passing. There is an investigation going on, so I say let the investigation finish and they'll go from there. All right, moving on. Next up, you have Prince Michael of Kent, who, by the way, is president of the Kennel Club, and Sir John Sperling, who's vice president of the Kennel Club, as well as the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester. And they all got together and hosted a garden party for the Royal Kennel Club at Buckingham Palace today. How lovely. And since they have the slimmed down monarchy, I like that the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester are, again, coming out of the shadows. Is anybody else thinking, as I am, that I wish that Beatrice and Eugenie would be given a couple of patronages? Because I think they'd be really good at it. You know what I'm saying? I do. All right. Very nice. Let's move on. All right. Next up, I just wanted to touch on this article because, frankly, it was just so stupid. They're fighting a third person from entering their marriage. Of course, they never name the person. It's some anonymous person. It's like, give me a break, people. Like, seriously. These puff pieces are almost a joke. Now, also, I want you to know that Harry and Meghan have come out and they have denied the information about that Harry has a hotel room. But I'm saying it's true because they're not suing. Now, going back to the car chase, apparently Harry and Meghan's spokesperson came out and said that's an abhorrent claim after the way that Harry's mother died. That's a terrible thing. No, it's a terrible thing after the way his mother died that he's trying to use that for PR. We're not stupid. And I agree with this Twitter user. The idea that this drunk and drugged out frat boy who's basically unemployed and cruising on his family's coattails has the arrogance to act like he's even a blip on the radar. I agree with the end of this. He's only being treated with any respect in the United States out of respect for the late Queen and the royal family. Now, moving on, we all know that Harry lost his appeal to pay for his own police protection while he's in the UK. And now he's going to be left with a legal bill. Now, it's no different than, let's say, Samantha Markle suing Meghan Markle. And if Samantha Markle loses, Meghan is going to sue her for attorney's fees. This is the same thing. So he sued the Home Office. So the Home Office is going to want all the money back, especially since the money came from the UK taxpayers and things have been really charged, or tight there. Now, they're saying the total cost so far is £500,000. He's cost the taxpayers over £300,000 so far. Somebody used the Freedom of Information Act to show that the UK taxpayer have paid so far a legal bill of almost £200,000 on government legal department costs, over £93,000 on general counsel, £660 for court costs, almost £3,000 on email disclosures, and £17 for a courier. If he's worth so many millions, let him pay for it. And I have to agree with Mystified here from Twitter. If you want your IPP status back, you probably should not have highlighted your drug usage. Bad move. Now, a blind item came out, and basically what it's come down to is he wants the same level of security that he had when he lived in the UK as a working royal, but he ain't getting it. All right, let's move on now to the Gracie Award. People were like, oh, Meghan might even cry while she's there. Thank you to Meghan's Mole for pointing out that she's only listed on page 5 of the winners. So I predicted she wasn't going to bother to show up. And then it was coming out she's expected to miss the awards after what happened in New York. And then, boom, it happened. She missed the Gracie Awards. She missed the awards for several reasons. Number 1, she wasn't top billing. Number 2, she looks like an idiot after the quote-unquote car chase. Number 3, her husband just lost his case in the UK for police protection, armed police protection, or his ability to pay for that police protection. But then some other info came out. Now, remember, she's winning this award for the Archetypes podcast, okay? Then we found out a bunch of interesting things. Number one, somebody else was asking the questions of the people that were showing on the show, on the podcast, and then Meghan Markle would do a voiceover to make it look like she was speaking to them. Number two, the women who came on her podcast were already well-known and wealthy and recognized in their own right. She didn't elevate their voices. They were elevating her voice. Then it came out that Rebecca Sananis was responsible for Archetype, not Meghan Markle. She is the one that did the producing, the editing, the research, did the scripts. She did the whole thing. So all Meghan did was show up and do the voiceovers of the person that was actually asking the questions. That's all she did. So a big thank you to Meghan's Mole for putting my head in that direction. Remember, this was the 48th annual Gracie Awards Women in Media. Now, back in March, on Archetype's website, Meghan put this up, that she was winning the top entertainment podcast host from the Gracie Awards, but that's actually not true. That is a lie. And Marlo Thomas got the Gracie Award for Lifetime Achievement. She just got that 2 days ago. So you know how I feel about the news, GB News, and Kinsey Schofield was on there. They had something to say about this whole mess. Just listen to this.
Dear God, we're talking about Meghan Markle now, okay? So, she gets chased around New York for 2 hours last week, whatever. And last night, she didn't turn up at an awards ceremony because she thinks, well, the theory is that she was worried about being chased by paparazzi again. The Gracie Awards. What was she getting this award for, Miss Kinsey?
This was a digital media national winner of she's the digital media national winner for Archetypes, and she was on page like 5 of the pamphlet announcing all of the winners. So there is a theory circulating on Twitter that she just wasn't relevant enough. She just wasn't going to be the center of attention, and maybe that's why she turned the actual showing up to the Gracies down. I think there are multiple reasons. Christina Applegate was one of the women that were going to be celebrated that evening. Did she want to bring up, Thomas Markle, who Christina Applegate worked with for years on Married with Children? We've also have the car chase. We've got Prince Harry being denied the ability to pay for private security when he's in the UK. They could be very upset about that and likely are. And then also Eamon and Isabel, don't forget, over the last few weeks, there have been, horrible rumors about the current status of their relationship. So could they be overwhelmed right now? I imagine the answer is likely yes. So the Telegraph reported recently that Harry had 2 different hotels that he escaped to when he just needed some fresh air. He goes and works out in Beverly Hills at Billy's Boot Camp, which is this very chic Hollywood, this where all the celebrities go. And then he's got apparently this private little bungalow that he goes to just for an escape from this. Harry and Meghan have pushed back on these rumors, but they also denied that they helped write Finding Freedom. So, we're careful about what we believe.
What this crud she talks, and she got this award. I mean, any of us could do her podcast. Be the best version of you. Always believe that you can achieve.
You're absolutely right, because there's another woman that actually did the majority of her interviews. A producer actually does the majority of Meghan's interviews, and they drop her vocals over it. So she could have sent the producer that did most of the work to accept the award.
Have you ever had your vocals dropped?
No, have you?
No, but that's amazing. That's incredible to hear.
Now, articles are coming out like this saying that they're being singled out as proven compulsive liars. Well, that's because They've been caught lying about finding freedom. She's been caught lying about her education. They've been caught lying about so much small stuff. It's really stupid that they would even lie about it, but they've been caught. People aren't interested in them, and they're really not interested in Harry. His previous treatment of women when he was younger, I don't think he treats them any better now that he's grown. He's just got some severe, deep psychological problems, in my personal opinion. All right, I got a quick Finn update. You know, when I walk around, he walks with me like he's right on top of me. So I was a little shocked when I turned around the other day and he was gone, because he's usually not that brave. I guess he's getting braver the longer we're out on the property. So, of course, I pulled out my phone as I'm calling him, and here's what I captured. Enjoy. Finn! Here he comes. Look at that smile. Hey! Hey! Woo! What are you doing? Where'd you go? You were walking behind me and then you were just gone. Oh. Well, as far as Harry and Meghan, this is what happens when you get caught lying. All right, I am going to end this video with some memes. So here we go. Don't forget to leave those comments below, because you know how much I love to see them. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future uploads. Don't forget to go into the description box and get the links to my Twitter, my Getter, my Rumble, my email. There's also a physical address there in case you want to send something. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund or through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.